everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. So many people already here. So, welcome to the BN Style live series. So, basically, this series came about. The idea behind this series is to connect our audience with business owners, futurists, creatives, people that work in the fashion industry and are doing great. And we basically want to discuss the ripple effect of the COVID-19 on our industry and provide optimistic accounts of learning, survival, and creation of opportunities in the face of this pandemic. So basically, we're going to be discussing with industry leaders on this series at different times of the week about how this coronavirus disease has affected our industry and how we can move forward and learn from all that has happened. Hi everybody. So I'm going to be talking with Nicole Chikwe today. Nicole Chikwe is a fitness and lifestyle enthusiast and also a beauty enthusiast, and she's going to be giving us some very interesting takes on how this pandemic has affected her business, her her space, being an entrepreneur and a lifestyle enthusiast. So I'm going to invite her now, and then we can all have a conversation. Guys, you can also send in questions if you have any questions to ask her. If you have anything you want to talk to Nicole Chikwe about, I hope everybody can hear me. If you have anything you want to ask, if you have anything you want to share, make sure you comment your questions. We're taking them down and we're definitely going to be asking her that question. Okay. We're just waiting for her. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, how's it going?
Great. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Hope you're safe. Hope your family's safe.
Yes, to the glory of God, everyone is fine. So just trying to do our best regarding that and just staying safe and making sure we stay indoors.
Yeah. So, basically, just for the purpose of some of our viewers who might not be based in Africa, just basically introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself, what you do, with respect to beauty and the digital industry.
Okay, so my name is Nicole Chikwe, and I'm a mom of 3. I am a health and wellness and beauty enthusiast, and I'm a co-host on an online TV show called Mom Chit Chat.
Okay, that's amazing. I know what you do, and I think you're a rock star mom, to be honest with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for trying.
How is it balancing all that you do? How has it been so far?
In general or in regards to
I mean,
COVID?
in general, first of all, and then we'll move over to COVID.
So, I like to talk about balance because I don't know. I don't think as a mom you'd ever get like the perfect balance, right? So it's just picking your season and knowing what you're going to focus on in that season and trying your best. So I try and be as scheduled as possible. Not only for me, but children in general thrive off schedules. So because I have to schedule them, it makes it easy to schedule myself. And then if you have a schedule you're working with, that kind of helps. But I don't know if I have like the balance 100% there yet. I don't know if as women or as moms, you could ever have like the perfect balance where your career is thriving, your home life is thriving. It feels like you kind of have to pick one or the other. But that's why it's so important to have a proper plan that you're working with. And of course, the most important thing is support. Having a really strong support system helps you thrive. That's definitely helped me thrive. I'm so grateful that I have a husband who's really, really hands-on with our children and in general. So that has been really helpful. And then I have, support in the forms of nannies as well. School is also another form of support for me, even though that's been taken away by COVID. But it's all about, just having like a support system. That's the that's the best way for me to achieve something close to balance.
And now moving to the whole COVID era, I know for me, before all of this started, I had so many plans. We had so many plans for BellaNaija Style that involved, physical presence, even in terms of partnerships, collaborations with brands, and everything just kind of came to a halt, with all of this. So how has it been so far? Your reception of everything going on, how has that been?
So it's definitely been really, really, it's been really interesting. I'm also apart from the other things I'd mentioned, I'm the convener of the Mummy Summit, which is a community and conference that aims to empower and uplift and inspire millennial mothers in Nigeria. And so our very first conference was supposed to be on the 25th of April.
Oh my.
But we had to move it. And for me, that was extremely devastating. I mean, you've been planning an event, you've been working towards it, and now I had to move it. It's now been moved to the 31st of October, but that was really, really difficult for me. But then it kind of gave me an opportunity to think about things the other way around. So where my focus had been on the conference and preparing for the conference for the 25th of April, now that I have like another 6 or 7 months ahead of me, the focus has now shifted from the events to the community. So I'm now more focused on building the community online. And so yeah, it's just a reorientation of my plans. But I think that this situation has been horrible. Obviously, we have people who are sick, who are dying. What's been out there in in Spain and in Italy in particular has been so horrible to watch. But at the same time, I think it's also given everyone an opportunity to just pause and reassess what it is you're doing. So for me, it was really interesting that I had to kind of reassess. So it now, at least for the Mummy Summit, it now had to become about the community. So community first, then the conference second, as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah.
And so that's been one thing. And then another thing is it's really made me, it's giving me a bit more time to focus on certain things. So I've been paying more attention to my sleep, as just small things like that, like actually
simple as that
catch up. Trying to catch up on my sleep, and then also having to spend a lot of time with my children, because now I have to teach them because they have like a lot of things. It's just been really, really interesting. But the main thing is, yes, it made me reassess what I wanted to do with the Mummy Summit, and I think that for a lot of people like ourselves who content creators or active online, it's really made us kind of look inward, right? So for me, like content wise and all the plans that I had for Nicole Chikwe, the page, too much hasn't changed because most of what I do is centered around being a mom. So now, I really have to look at my surroundings and try and draw inspiration from that, and try and draw so it's given me like another dimension to think about in terms of what I do in terms of content. It's been really interesting seeing people like yourself as well and other influencers and what they're doing now, because everyone is just trying to make the most of what they have. So it's been interesting, but I think it's also been an interesting time. You see people becoming more and more creative with their content, which is good for everybody, because it's good for the people who are consuming the content, and it's good for the creators as well to be able to really push themselves. So yeah, I don't know. I hope I answered the question. I think I answered like 3 different things.
Yeah. You did, but I think, we can still go further. I mean, you talked about looking within and, exploring different ways, especially with the Mommy Summit. I know a major part of your business, your brand, is actual physical interaction. I think the first time I ever face to face met you was at a clinic event where we had to do the whole workout thing in Radisson. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's, you know, very physical, you know. So in terms of that, collaborations you might have had, partnerships you might have been looking forward to, how do you now make that from being a face take that from being face to face interaction to, you know, virtual, to the virtual space, you know? How have you found success with that? I think that's the question I'm trying to get at. Have you found success with that? What do you think? I noticed a lot of people are doing live workout sessions. You know, people are exploring a whole lot. Or what kind of content are you exploring this period?
So yes, in terms of the interaction, I agree that while quite a lot of my interaction was physical, I actually get most interaction online just based off the nature of my page as well. So it's this is really a good time to
Mm-hmm.
engage, respond to every comment, you know, go and comment on other people. This is a good time to engage with other people.
Yeah.
The thing is, everything is online now. Everyone is online. So the audience is there and they're waiting for you. So
Mm-hmm.
I've also had to retrain myself to make sure that I'm engaging as much as I can with other people. And then the second thing you had asked me was how my content has changed to fit.
Yeah.
I think that's what you asked me.
Yes.
So thankfully, um, most of my content is centered around my life. It's more like
Okay.
lifestyle. It's more about being a
Mm-hmm.
mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot to work with. I did a video the other day of myself working out with like a dispenser. I didn't know it was going to be that like a
Hi,
Okay, hello.
Nicole.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I
Okay,
can.
yeah. So I had like a dispenser. I thought, oh, I wanted to do something with weights around, or let me use like a keg of dispenser water. And so I
Mm-hmm.
did like a video of like doing some squats with that. And I didn't know it was going to be like that much of a thing because several people reposted it.
Yeah.
So it's just, again, it's really just, at least for me, it's really like leaning in. I'm trying to figure out how to make work with what I have. Like I
Yeah.
said, luckily for me, I'm not really like a fashiony page. I'm more lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, even if you were more fashion or whatever it is you're doing, you know, there's a way that you can incorporate the current situation into your content to make it relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I found that people have been doing that. I don't think people are interested in like your throwbacks. I don't think there's a time for like to post like old pictures, like, oh, when I went to the cinema with my friends, like,
3 years
okay, well,
ago.
girl, you're not going to the cinema right now, so
Oh my god.
so I want to know about your Netflix. I want to know what you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what you're
Mm-hmm.
eating. I want to know how you look
Mm-hmm.
at home. I want to know about your
Yeah.
skincare routine, about your hair care routine. Like, what are you doing at home? So it's just really important to try and keep it as fresh as possible, which is what I've been trying to do.
Yeah.
So like, for example, last week I put up a picture of myself and my kids watching mass on Sunday. We're watching the church service. We're Catholics. We're watching the mass on TV, and I thought, okay, you know what? I want my kids to take this seriously. I want to take this seriously. So why don't we actually get dressed like we're going to church, right? And then take a picture, like, oh, us getting dressed going to
Happy
church,
Sunday.
and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, happy Sunday, exactly. And that really resonated with people, like, oh, oh, maybe I'm going to start dressing up to go to church. So it's really just making the best of what you have. And I would really encourage people to just also try and keep their content as fresh as possible. Like, okay, so what is it that you're doing right now, like, oh, how are you eating, or how are you managing your shopping, or things like that. So at least that's what I'm trying to do. I don't know, I might not have all the answers.
Yeah.
What do I know?
No. Yeah, no, 100%. I think it's important to just show a bit of personality this period. I know some people like
Absolutely.
creators like yourself just keep it, okay, we're just doing fashion. Oh, I'm just doing lifestyle. Oh, I'm just doing beauty. However, this is a good period too because, and which brings me to my next question. How have you seen audience engagement change? I know there are more people at home, people, there are not a lot of people who can work from home. So some people are just, at home doing nothing. So has there been any audience engagement changes from your end? And, how do you interpret that?
So from on my end, to be honest, I haven't really noticed too much of a change my engagement has been pretty consistent with what I would expect um on a normal day. But I hear what you're saying regarding like more people being at home. But maybe as well because I still kind of stuck to my usual posting schedules. So I haven't really seen too much of a shift in my engagement. But I would definitely say that I think this is a good time to try other things with your audience because the market is there and the eyes are there, right? And you don't have to worry. At least in this period, I don't think you need to worry too much about like your timing. I think this is a good
Yeah.
time to try different content, which is probably what I'm going to do at some point, maybe like next week. But I personally haven't noticed too much of it. I haven't noticed too much of a change, but that's because
Okay.
I'm sticking to my usual
Correct. Correct.
times, my current like posting schedules.
Mm, okay. Now let's take it to, what you do and expert advice, guys. As an expert in the building, so let's quickly get advice. I mean, you're a lifestyle enthusiast. A lot of people right now are home. It's a crazy period. It's not really.
It is. It's
It's
really, really crazy.
interesting. You read a lot. You see all the memes. There's a lot of funny content, but the reality is this is really serious, and there is a change that's going on. Things are going to change definitely. There's going to be a change in the industry, in different industries, in the way people interact with different things. For example, fashion shows have been cancelled. Different events have been moved. People are going more virtual. People are going online. People want to do a lot of things digitally, and that could cause some kind of insecurity. That could, some people might be feeling depressed in this period. Some people might not be able to interpret this in a positive way. From your end, is this a great time to practice self-care, and what kind of self-care should people practice? How do people ensure that at the end of all of this their energy levels are up, you're not coming out of this looking like an obese person? You're not coming out of this, with your skin bad, with bags under your eye because you've been worrying sick. How do we? What do you advise?
Okay, so I definitely agree around like a lot of anxiety um, around what's next. What's next for fashion, what's next for content creation, what's next, even if you're not in this space, what's next for my job, like there's everything's just so uncertain right now.
Mm-hmm.
What I would say is just take things one day at a time. That's the number one thing that I've taken because things are changing so quickly. We just don't know. And there's no point in worrying about things that you don't have any direct control over.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what the industry is, fashion shows, what like the summits. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe October will come and there's still a lockdown and there isn't an interest in people wanting to go for a conference. So I just don't know. But all we can do is take things one step at a time and just take things one day at a time. Okay, so today, how am I going to make the best use of my time? That is
Mm-hmm.
what I would suggest. In terms of self care, I think that self-care is so important. I think that this period has been the such a wake-up call for everybody. Like, okay, you know what? No matter how busy you think you are, oh, I'm running here, I'm going there, I'm jetting off here, I'm planning this, I'm planning that. Okay, all of that has stopped. Now you need to sit down and look at yourself, or you need to sit down and look at your families, you need to sit down and look at your children. But I think that this is such a good time for a lot of self-reflection and definitely self-care. Being less anxious and not worrying too much is a form of self-care. Like, people think of self-care as just, oh, you know, like masks. When you think of self-care, you think of masks, you know, hair care, my nails. Oh, this is self-care. But like, protecting your mental space is also a form of self-care. One of the things I've done is I'm not reading every WhatsApp thing, everyone's WhatsApp message about, you know, what's going on with COVID. Like, I mean, I try and stick to the facts. I check the NCDC updates in the morning. Maybe I watch the news a little bit at night, but then that is it, because I need to, I really, really can't take in too much of that and increase my anxiety levels over something that I don't have too much control over. The only control I have is following the mandate which I've been given, which is to stay at home. So that's all I can do. So I think it's very, very important that we protect our mental space from a lot of these things that's going around at the moment. I also want to encourage people to not just share everything that you see, because people are really, really anxious. People are really depressed. So you don't need to share, you know, the pictures of the people dying, and you know, we are all aware, right? And it's really sad, but let's not do that. Let's not. So I would say that that's one of the most important forms of self-care in this period. Do not be too anxious. Self-care for me is also taking a moment in the morning to speak positive affirmations to myself. You know, like, oh, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Today is going to be a great day. I'm going to make the best use of my time. I'm going to be safe. You know, I'm a Christian, so I take a moment in the morning to pray for myself, pray for my family, and that also gives me like a greater sense of, okay, everything is going to be okay. So I would definitely say taking a moment in the morning to do some positive affirmations, like, today is going to be a great day. Everything is going to be okay. I'm not going to be worried. I'm just going to focus on what I need to focus on for today. I think that's another important form of self-care, taking that moment in the morning or in the evening, whenever you have the time. I also think it's very important to try and stay active, even if you're not going to the gym. One, because all of us are here, right? Everyone is at home. You're eating more, most likely because we're all bored, and you know, snacks are just here, there, everywhere. So you need to just be snacking, and mindlessly eating, especially if you're anxious. You know, I'm a stress eater, so when I'm anxious, it's looking for food. So I think it's definitely important to take a moment to work out, not only to counteract the effects of eating too much, but it's also good for your immune system to stay active. So that's one form of just staying healthy in general. And it's also a really good stress reliever as well. So there's so many, sorry, I can see all my friends and I'm like, hi Steve, hi Maria. Thanks guys. So it's really important to try and stay physically fit, not just for the food, but also because it's good for your mental clarity. It helps you process better. It gives you a moment to think, and because it's actually good for your immune system. So I would definitely recommend that. In terms of your skin, this is the perfect opportunity. I mean, no one's going out. Don't wear makeup unless you have to. Even if you're trying to be cute for your little FaceTime boo, this is the time for him to see you, see you as you really are.
Oh my God, right?
But you have to. You know, stay consistent with your routine. This is a good time to try and take on like a proper skincare routine if you have the things with you at home. Make sure you stay hydrated as well. Hydration is not only good for your skin, but it's also good for your immune system. So yeah, just things like that. I think we covered like exercise and skincare, and but most importantly, like, don't be anxious. I saw something. There's been a lot going on around on social media regarding use of your time, or this is the time to start like a side hustle, or this is the time to get a master's degree, or this is, you don't, I mean, if you can, sure. Don't put yourself under too much pressure regarding that. Try and make the best use of your time. But if the best use of your time today is getting some rest, then maybe that's just what it is, and that's okay. So I'm more, I'm definitely, my focus is definitely more on my mental space, and from there, like, every other thing follows.
Speaking about the gym, would we get some live Saturday fitness thing from Nicole?
You know what? I'm actually thinking about it, but there's so many people who are doing really, really, really good lives, and these are like popular fitness professionals. Like, I'm trying to watch their lives. So
No.
maybe.
I've attended one of your physical trainings, and I'm sold. Please, it's not that kind of high pressure. No. I want someone that'll be encouraging me because I'm a fatty. Let me just do the one I can do. Yeah.
Thanks.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
we need
I'm
something like that.
definitely. Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, not just because you said it, then yeah, I will definitely look into it. I mean, I love working out, so it'll be cool to kind of show people what I do at home. This has been a really, really interesting experience, because for the most part, I used to work out at home by myself. That's how I got fit. And then I started going to the gym maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, maybe, was the first time I really went to a gym. And then I liked it, so I continued with that. But this period has made me come back to what I really enjoy doing. I really enjoy working out at home. I like body weights, I like cardio, and all of that you can do at home. And for someone like myself who has children, or who doesn't have the time, a lot of the time, to go to the gym or enter traffic and all of that, it's such an amazing way to. Really glad for the opportunity to have kind of reconnected with that. So yeah, maybe it'll be a good idea to share that, like, some of the things that I do at home to stay fit, because I actually feel like I'm at my fittest when I'm at home and not going to. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I think basically, just to kind of bring everything to a nice little round up, do you have any predictions for, especially for your industry, on how things would go now? You're creative, how you would create content, and how your audience will engage with that content, even if this, God forbid, has to go on for another 2 months. What are some methods or some tips you might have for people in your space? Um, yeah, basically that.
So the wonderful thing about being in this space is that you are creative, right? So this is a real opportunity to tap into your creativity. I think that you need to explore. This would be a good time, like I mentioned earlier, to explore other things and maybe make your page a little bit more multifaceted, and try other things. I think that would be a really good thing to do. And then you can test things out and see what people respond to or don't respond to. But like you had mentioned something that was key earlier, I think people are looking now to see more of the personality and the person behind these like glossy images. So this would be a really good opportunity to show yourself a bit more. I think lives are a really good way to get people to give people the opportunity to know you, and then also get feedback regarding what people might be looking for from you. I think this is also a really good opportunity to have different benchmarks. I'm sure as an influencer yourself, you have people that you look at and you're like, okay, I like this page. I love the way she does this. I love the way she does that. This is a really good time to try and draw inspiration from other pages, other people, of course, in a respectful way. I'm not saying go and steal other people's content, but yeah, go ahead. But yeah, go, like, go online, look at other pages, see what they're doing, see how you can make that your own. But what's most important is that you keep trying to churn out content, because content has always been king, right? But now we know more than ever that content is everything, because everyone is online now. I don't know if you've caught any of these lives. Like, I'll literally set my alarm clock. I don't know, have you watched Quarantine Radio, Tory Lanez?
I
Oh my god,
haven't.
it is so good.
Oh,
It is like, it's
I have to look for that.
hilarious. So like Tory
Thank
Lanez has
you.
now like carved out like a niche for himself in the middle of this thing, Quarantine Radio. And then I don't know if you've seen it,
Wow.
lives, yeah, like the battles, like SARS versus Sheezy. I'll stay up and I'll watch it. Like, it's just finding interesting things to do to engage people.
Yeah.
And but this is a really good time to kind of tap into your creativity. And I mean, if you say you're a creative, you'll create something. You'll create something, but just keep trying. Just keep trying. Content is everything.
I think
Sorry, quick
that's
shout out. Hi, Maria.
she has really
Superstar
been an
celeb.
interesting. She's just been giving us lots of lovely comments back to back
I
to back.
know.
Love it. Shout
That's
out
my
to you, Maria.
book.
I think this has been really, really interesting and really informative. We're in very scary times. However, it's nice to have conversations like these that remind us that, despite everything that's going on, there's still an opportunity to create. There's an opportunity to keep your mindset positive. There's an opportunity to just even bring out a talent or a skill that you didn't even know you had in
Exactly.
you.
Just try
This has
something
been
different.
great. Guys, you can ask questions now. We have a few more minutes left, but yeah. Sorry, you were saying?
No, I was saying, yeah, like this is definitely a good time to try things out. Just try different content. Like, you've been
Yeah.
seeing a lot of people doing more TikToks now. I had to go open a TikTok
Mm-hmm.
account, because the thing is, before this, I was just like, oh, TikTok is not for me. Like, all these
Mm-hmm.
new things.
Mm-hmm.
But now, more people on TikTok. Now I'm going to now start trying to do TikTok videos.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and why not? And why not? So this is definitely the time to explore other things, and just kind of make your brand a bit more, gives a bit more of a dimension to your brand and what it is you're trying to do with your content on your page.
Thank you so, so much, Nicole. This has been a wonderful session. We're
Thank you.
definitely looking forward to a live workout
Yeah,
session with
yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah.
If you want to
Yeah.
host it here, we're open to it. Maybe like a Saturday morning thing. That would be
Okay.
great.
Awesome.
This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for even having me in mind to share knowledge. When you guys, I was like, me?
Oh,
Okay.
of course, you. Thanks to everybody who has tuned in. You guys are amazing. So see you next week for another
Thank
great
you.
session. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.